What's up, everybody? How are we doing tonight? Hopefully, y'all are doing well. I think it's Wednesday. Yeah, it's Wednesday. I think it is. I don't know. To my schedule, who knows what day it is? I have to listen. No lie. I actually have to look at my phone. It's like, oh yeah, it is. Oh well, hopefully you all are doing well. And I'm gonna let you all know right now. I have a hell of a show in store for you guys today, for multiple reasons. First of all, we have something to premiere. We have, well, I have, me, whatever, all my personalities. We have the new Global Ghost Hunt trailer to air. Hasn't been seen yet. Hasn't been seen. You guys will be the first, so please start sharing this out, guys. Get people in because you'll definitely want to watch this one. And also, my guest tonight. Oh, guest, co-host. Yeah, screw it, he's a co-host. Screw it, he's a co-host. He's been promoted. So tonight, guys, we're going to be talking about Paranormal 101, as it says in the title. And what that's going to be is we're going to talk about some of the misconceptions about starting in the paranormal, starting a team, just, the basics. We're going to go back to the basics because it's been a while. It's been a while since we've done that. And honestly, I know Fedora, as most of you know, Mr. Fedora, Scott Morton, he was my first guest on the Paraverse. Well, this guy, you have to. If you're going to talk Paranormal 101, he's another guy that you've got to bring on. And he's been hanging out backstage long enough. So, ladies and gentlemen, I like to call him the Godfather. I don't know if he knows this, but he's going to now. But I like to call him the Godfather of Pennsylvania Paranormal. That's the way I look at it because, he deserves it. So, I see him laughing. So, ladies and gentlemen, please give a very, very warm Paraverse podcast welcome to my brother, Mr. Sean Kelly. What is up, brother?
Hey, welcome everybody. Nice to see my buddy Tony and who's that? Yeah, what's up, brother?
I actually sent him a message. Oh, you're welcome. Anytime.
Thank you for having me on, man. I'm really excited about what's been happening in your life and this new podcast you got going on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm all pumped up for it. And the Godfather, I like that. I like that.
By all means, you've earned it. And oddly enough, Anthony, I don't know if your ears were burning, but we were talking about you a little bit backstage. And that's why I sent you the message saying, I think you're going to like my guest.
Yeah, Tony's good. Tony's a good person. Anthony's a good person. Yes.
I love Anthony.
Hey, Anthony. Oh, Tony. Excuse me.
Anthony, Tony. You don't start calling him Tony. And then we have Suzette. Hey, Suzette. How are you tonight? Suzette is from CMPS. I don't know if you caught it, Sean, but we were doing the Global Ghost Hunt. We just finished up the first round, and Suzette and her team did an outstanding job. Awesome. Absolutely outstanding job. Awesome. Definitely a team you want to go check out, and they're in Massachusetts, so they're not too far from us.
No, not at all. But 8 hours, 9 hours away. That's
something like that. Something like that. Yeah, it's not too bad. And then there's another guy we were just talking about, Nando from Portal to the Paranormal, and also my co-host. We're co-hosting GGH Live, Global Ghost Hunts Live podcast. Nando's been promoted to director now, so he's a big boss guy. So whether he likes it or not, he has to make decisions. But anyway, guys, we have a treat tonight. Like I said, we have the new Global Ghost Hunt fall promo video. It's the first one for October. We're going to be playing that here in a little bit. We have the Up program video. We've got Beer Fest. We got a bunch of videos for the commercials tonight, so you do not want to miss it. But I think instead of making the commercial like 5 minutes long, we'll throw in the Global Ghost Hunt one here in a little bit. So we'll break it up. But see, Suzette said that they loved it, and we signed up for October. Awesome. Glad to hear it. Mm-hmm. So let's first start off, Sean. For those who have been living under a rock, give us a little bio about yourself, brother.
Oh, okay. Well, my name is Sean Kelly, and I, when I am the founder of the Pittsburgh Paranormal Society. I founded the group in 2006
Hmm.
at a little restaurant called Eaton Park here in Pittsburgh.
I love eating pork.
And yes, I do too. Over chocolate chip pancakes, dude. I want you to know that.
Hmm.
Ladies and gentlemen out there, if you want a good restaurant to go to after a ghost hunt, go to Eaton Park and get some chocolate chip freaking pancakes because they are the ultimate, ultimate.
Mm.
That's the secret of being a good ghost hunter.
There you go.
But
Write that down.
I formed that. I formed the group in 2006, and basically why I formed it was just to do something on a Saturday night, um, like go to a seminary and go to different places that have legends of ghosts going on, ghost hauntings, and so that's
That's
what we
Scott.
did.
That's
That's what we
Scott.
did.
That's Mr. Fedora right there, Scott Morton.
Okay, hi Scott Morton. How are you? But you know what? So what happened was in October of 2006, we were invited to investigate uh, a private investigation for a person. And from October of 2006 until November 1st, 2022, we have been doing investigations 2, 3 times a week. Um, but what I enjoyed the most out of was going to people's houses. I'm doing great. I'm doing great, buddy. Um, but going to different people's houses or businesses and trying to help give them a peace of mind. Why the spirit was there, what's going causing the haunting. Trust me, there's a ton of reasons why spirits are haunting the house. And so November 1st, 2022 is when I retired from paranormal investigation.
Mm.
I'm going to be 61 years old, and I've been doing it for so long that I cannot handle going out till 2, 3 in the morning on a Saturday night and coming back and going to work at 7 in the morning. I just can't do that no more.
I
But
I I can't. I can barely do it myself.
it's hard. I mean, it actually takes a toll on you. It really, really does. Um, but what happened for me was I have 2 podcasts, okay,
Hmm.
and I got 2 podcasts. The first one is called Chasing Prophecy, and we're on Tuesday night um, on UPRN Talk Radio 105.3
Hmm.
New Orleans and 107.7 Mississippi. And we also I have a podcast with my dear good friend Michael Anthony, and we're on Sunday nights. Um, and that's called American Uncensored and something like that. I don't know. I get them like kind of mixed up. But basically, what we do is I really got into the podcast. Um, and I've been doing it for the last 5 years with Chasing Prophecy. And now I found my new niche. Okay. I can help people out just like Matt does, over the computer. And and that's basically it. I have so many stories I could tell you, but I think we should get into this 101. So it's
Yeah.
been a while. And if you see me shaking my head like that, that's just some of the stuff. But
Well.
before we go on, bro,
Yeah.
one more thing, and then I'll shut up.
No. No. No.
But
You're fine.
but whoever's listening tonight, um, if you really want to go do a paranormal investigation, please, 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 don't go out yourself
Yeah.
and do it yourself. Okay, find a respected paranormal group in your area and ask them if they can take you out because you seriously need to be with somebody or everybody who has has many years or some years into the paranormal investigation. So if you're new, don't do it yourself because there's a very good possible chance you'll get burned.
Yeah. I've seen that happen. I've seen that happen. And I want to take a step back. It's oddly enough that you say about Eaton Park. I will say this: not just the chocolate chip pancakes, but the sugar cookies. They're dangerous. I'm a fat kid. I love it. And Fedora was saying that they started a wasp at a Burger King. I don't know what it is with fast food and the paranormal, but it just goes hand in hand, I guess.
It's the only damn thing open besides Sheets at 2 or 3 in the morning.
I know out in San Diego for us, it was Starbucks. Every time I did an interview for an investigator or met up with somebody, it was always Starbucks. I don't know why, but it was just always Starbucks. I see your question, Fedora. We'll get to that in just a second. Vicky from Abyss Paranormal, another great team. Sean, definitely check these guys out. They had a really good investigation during the Global Ghost Hunt. Really good one.
I'll check them. I'm writing their names down.
See, there you go, guys. That's what it's about. But no, you're absolutely right. And you and I could probably sit here for just shooting the shit, telling stories for hours and hours. And that's why I wanted to bring you on, because you are a wealth of knowledge, and you demand that respect. You just not saying he personally does, guys. He didn't threaten me. I'm not in any danger. I'm fine. With his resume in the paranormal, he deserves it. He's got the credentials. Give this man respect. And I love him. He's my brother.
Yes.
And also about the podcast, like we said backstage, I blame Fedora. Fedora started this up for you guys, so you can blame him.
That's a good question.
Yeah, absolutely. So first of all, one of the first questions, we're going to get to Fedora's question here in a second, but let's start off with the most general one that I've gotten a lot. I get that a lot as a consultant. I've gotten a lot throughout the 17 years I've been doing this. And that, yes, I'm blaming you. By the way, for those of you on Facebook, yeah, you're to blame. You're to blame for all this. When is it time to start a team? Because we all had personal experiences. I think most of us, we either saw the shows, we think it's cool, or we have a personal experience. But one of the things I get asked is, when did you know, or when do you know it's time to start a team? So let me ask you that one then.
That's a good question. Personally, for me, I went to Gettysburg.
Good place.
Yes. and when I went up there the first time, hey Liz.
Love Liz.
And I went up to Gettysburg for the first time, and I got into these ghost walks, these ghost tours they have.
Mm-hmm.
And it just sparked my interest. It was just like pretty interesting. So the very next day I went to a Rite Aid and I bought, them Polaroid cameras.
Yep.
And
they're making a comeback.
Yes, they are. But what happened was I went out on the battlefield and I took like about 96 pictures, dude, because I bought like 3 cameras. And I didn't get a damn thing. Kind of pissed me off a little bit, you know what I mean? Really did. But I went home and I was sitting up Eaton Park. And I think I caught taps one time and that was it. So all of a sudden I'm looking up at Eaton Park and my friend Carmen, she goes, I told her, I said, I wouldn't mind starting a paranormal group. And right then and there is when it started. There's really no good time or a set time in order to start a group. Basically, whenever the person who wants to form a group comes up with that suggestion.
Very nice. And I think in my experience, like for me, and I've said this before, I had a couple experiences as a kid, but Sean, did you know, brother, here in Pennsylvania, especially Central PA, the paranormal isn't really talked about. It's pretty low key. You don't blast it out. So all the experiences just kind of went to the back of my head. And out in San Diego, a group of friends, well, female friends, I'll just say it that way, and some liquid courage got me out into a haunted location, and that's when I had my first experience, like actual experience. Well, I wouldn't say actual, but legit, credible one that I would call paranormal. And then I saw the shows that got me interested. Taps was the first one, Ghost Hunters. Jason and Grant starting out, I see guys as plumbers, and me as an electrician, I can relate to to being a craftsman, and them doing it. I was like, okay, well, they can do it. Why can't I?
Right.
So out in San Diego, I found a team. They were advertising on, I think it was Craigslist or Facebook, and I applied. And the short version, they put a very bad taste in my mouth. They were all about the money. That's all I'm going to say about that. And there's a certain individual who's still around, by the way, out in that area. And everybody knows my hot button here is Zach. Well, she's even worse. Anyway, yeah. And I'll never forget that name, but I'm not, you know what, fuck it. Nicole Strickland was her name.
Okay.
Anyway, so I decided after a little bit that I was going to start my own team. So I started, researching and started watching the shows, not for entertainment, but more of a knowledge, the scholars type. Like I wanted to educate myself a little bit, listen in on how they were saying things, how they were asking questions, how they were placing cameras, doing EVP sessions, interviewing, everything. I became a student, and I started studying it. And then for me, that's when I felt comfortable. That's when I started. I started my own team, and it was just me and my ex. And then we just started meeting people. We started meeting people, networking, and networking has been my entire paranormal career. Just been nothing but networking, and it's been a hell of an adventure, I'll tell you that. But yeah, I agree. I don't think there's one cataclysmic moment. I think it's just most of us were kind of like, oh, we should start a team, and yeah.
Now, see, when it comes, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
What I was going to say is, you just don't go out and do this for money. And I've done over 1,000, 1,200 client houses, and not once have I asked for a cent. Okay. You're not this, you don't do this in this field. You just go out to help people. That's what it's all about, is to help people. That's what we're in here for. Now don't get me wrong. There's a lot of people out there that want to make the bucks, but you know what? It's not worth it. If you want to go make money, hang it up. That's the way I look at it.
Yeah, and I've said this on my show, and I've said this, I think, on several others. If you're in this field to make money, you're in the wrong field. We are here to spend money. Paranormal is a very expensive field.
Yes.
Very expensive. We are here to spend money. And think of it like a professional athlete. Like I grew up playing baseball, swimming, stuff like that. Am I a professional athlete? Not even close. No, not anymore. But when I learned how to cook, that went out the window. Or these YouTubers, these big name YouTubers, you're talking a very small percentage of the population. It's the same way with the paranormal. You should not expect to get to that level. Now, if opportunities present themselves, by all means. I mean, I've said numerous times, if I could get paid for doing what I do for the Global Ghost Hunt, Paravid Studios, my merchandise, doing these shows, absolutely, I will take full advantage of that. Why? Because it's going to free me up to do more for people, do what I love to do. It's not money driven.
Right.
But let's be honest, the almighty dollar, a piece of paper, controls the economy.
Unfortunately.
So Fedora says, I'm not opposed to making money through monetization events. And absolutely. Never from a client. And I'm going to tell everyone right now, and since we are on a Paranormal 101, if you are a client or you're a team and you hear about somebody charging for an investigation, they are not legit.
Yep.
That is a scam.
Yep.
You will find the reason why I say that is because, again, they're driven by money. They're not driven by the passion of the field. These people, and let's be honest with ourselves, like this one team I know that I was a part of, charged thousands of dollars, and I'm not talking two. I'm talking around 5 to 6 per investigation. These people are struggling to make sense in the chaos of their home, and you're going to add a financial stress to that. You're just adding fuel to the fire.
Right. Exactly, dude.
So,
Exactly.
yeah.
In fact, there were a couple groups down here in Western Pennsylvania area that were doing that, and it was really pissing me off. And I had to actually go to them. I said, you know what? Don't do it. Stop it. Because, excuse me, at the time, um, I even do take ghost hunting really serious, but it's like I can get you banned from hunting any paranormal around here. And I wasn't saying it because I had an ego. It's
Mm.
because I knew a lot of groups out there that were in it to helping people, not to take
Yep.
money. But I went back to LOA Productions. I'm not opposed. The only time that I seriously make money is when I go speak at a conference or at a college or a university.
Yeah.
Then I will charge. But as
But
with
that makes sense,
everything
though.
else, nope.
But that makes sense, though. That makes sense. That is your time. That makes absolute perfect sense. Now, I am going to be going to the Men of the Paranormal retreat that Jen Jacobs is putting on, and I think Raymond Newsom's going to be there too. So that ought to be good. Me and him getting together, and that's in November. Um, so guys, go check that out. I will find the link. I'll share it out for everybody again. But it's just Men of the Paranormal retreat. Jen Jacobs, like I said, is running it. Um, I'm not charging her. She's like a sister to me. You know what I
Where's it
mean?
at?
So
I never heard of it.
Indiana. Actually, I'll bring that up while we're talking about it. Um, but in any case, stuff like that makes sense. That makes absolute perfect sense to me. I mean, if
Right.
you're going out of your way to speak or whatever, that's perfectly fine. If you have the opportunity, again, take it. Absolutely take it. The Men of the Paranormal Convention is in Winchester. There we go, Indiana, and it is going to be November 11th. And you will find myself and Raymond Newsom there and a bunch of others. But yeah, that's going to be fun. We all know Raymond. We all love Raymond. Raymond Newsom from Newsom Paranormal. I'm sure you've seen him around, Sean.
Yes, I am.
But him and I together, that's going to be. Ooh. Oh, Fedora's out. Great show, awesome guest, absolutely. However, oh, yeah.
This spot is off the bed. Good night, Yins.
Good night,
Yinzer.
Fedora.
See ya, Yinzer.
Yins?
See ya, Yinzer.
He's a Yinzer. Hey,
There you
Tim,
go.
how you doing, bro? I love Fedora. And see, that's the PA thing. See, everybody like Anthony. I love Anthony and Nando. If Nando's still in the room, Liz, they don't know Yins. We know Yins. It's a PA thing, I think. But
Anthony, it's like when you say y'all, but
Yins.
here in Western Pennsylvania, we say Yins.
Yins. See, I'm in Central, so I get the y'alls and the Yins. I get a mix. but no, like stuff like that is absolutely okay. It's absolutely okay. But when you start talking about investigations like in home or any type of clientele, absolutely not. Again, no. And here's the thing. Again, we are here to spend money. Like my most recent investigation, Penhurst. I paid to go there. I paid to go. Was it worth it? Absolutely. I got to meet a lot of my brothers and sisters. Got to meet Chrissy, the listening queen. Got to meet Scotty, Jason. I got to meet a bunch of different amazing people, and I had a great time. And it was worth it. It was worth every penny.
Here's a question for you. I have for you guys out there and for you, Matt. And I'd like to get your opinion on this. When you go do an investigation,
yeah,
do you have to be serious, or would you rather have fun doing the investigation?
So I've said this before, and I will stick to my guns. I think it's a mix. It depends on the situation.
Okay.
And I was at Penhurst, and you guys can see it. It was on the Global Ghost Hunt. You'll be seeing more. I'm going to be going through all my evidence here, and I'll put a video together. Mackenzie and I were having a great time. We were joking, we were laughing, we were having fun, and we were enjoying ourselves because, you know, the spirits get tired of hearing the same thing. I mean, if you're a spirit somewhere, who really, I mean, honestly, if somebody in the audience says yes, by all means, I want to talk to you. But if you're just a ghost or a spirit or whatever, you're just hanging out, and someone comes up to you and goes, "What's your name? Who are you? Do something," and they're pointing these devices in your face. Who would enjoy that? Seriously.
No, that's funny because that's how I feel when I would go into investigations. They're tired of hearing the same old questions, same old time. So I like to, divvy it up a little bit, and
Oh yeah, I'll
and
ask
then
favorite food.
don't ask, what's your name, how old are you, blah blah blah. I'd be talking to my other group members while we're there doing the investigation. And what's funny about it is that the ghosts get pissed because you're not talking to them. Okay?
Yes.
And so they will do everything in their power for, to be heard.
Absolutely.
And I've done that many a times because there were a lot of times that I would go on investigations, sit there, do the name calling, what's your name, blah, 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 the whole 9 yards. Yeah. And then I said, what the hell with you? If you ain't going to talk, dude, all right, I'm just going to go somewhere else and talk to my crew. And then all of a sudden, no shit, 10, 15 minutes later, you just see the K2s going off. You see everything just going off. Like, okay.
We saw it at the Global Ghost Hunt. We saw it from several teams. And what's funny? Hey, Hearst, I saw you come in, brother. Another great person I just ran into on another show. I love Hearst is a great guy. Him and I need to have a good chat. But no, like I mean, obviously go in with respect and say hi, I'm Matt. Like almost every room or every building I went into. Hi, my name is Matt. I'm here. We're just here to chat. Whatever. And you kind of relate to them. But I'll ask them, what's your favorite food? What's your favorite sports team? What's your favorite sport? What do you think of the president?
Or who is the president?
Stuff like that.
Yep.
Yeah, and like we were at Penhurst, and one thing that I really took away from that investigation is everybody makes Penhurst out to be like this big, badass, scary place. In actuality, the spirits there are very misunderstood. They're mentally ill, and I don't mean like criminally insane. I mean they have a learning disability. There's something, medically wrong that they don't comprehend. They have like autism, Down syndrome, something. They have something wrong. So that changed my whole investigation perspective. I'm going to go in. Hey, I'm Matt. How are you tonight? You want to come play? You want to come play with me? Like there was toys there. Can you play with this ball? Can you do this? Can you do that? Isn't like we had a pendulum. My wife even said, isn't this nice and shiny? What do you think? Do you like shiny stuff like this? And it's connecting with the spirits.
Yep.
Now I'm going to flip that. If we go into, we're talking about residentials. If I get a call saying that a child is being scratched or kept up at night, or the family's getting attacked, something with malicious intent, then absolutely. I'm not going to go in going, hi. No, I'm going to be like, no, come here. So we're going to have a chat. It's not a matter of challenging or anything. It's asserting that dominance. And it's having that confidence to do that. And you're going to be more strict. Now, if something happens during an investigation where something starts popping off, you can change. You change your whole perspective and your whole line of questioning. But here again, it's a matter of doing your due diligence and doing your research.
Right.
Depending on the location. Like another good example, the USS North Carolina. When I went there, I'm a military guy. I'm a Navy man. I had my veteran Oh, I know, brother. Oh, I know. And you'll appreciate this. I went in with my veteran hoodie on. I had my national defense ribbon on. I know, out of uniform, but man, don't care. But I had my national defense ribbon on, and I would call for muster. I'd call for general quarters. I would play air raid sirens.
Mhm.
I would do things that would relate to them to get that reaction. I even played the CB song, which I think that pissed off a couple.
Yeah, I bet it would. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you don't go to big grave floaty thing and play the CB song. I
I
played
mean,
Anchors Away too.
on to North Carolina, never been there. That's on my bucket list before I die. But how did they give you full range of the whole boat? Whole
For the
circuit?
most part, they were doing some construction on some of the decks. I know, like up in the crow's nest and up in the tower, that was blocked off. But yeah, for the most part, we were down in the galley, we were in the bow, we were on the stern, we were all over, and we only saw, I think, maybe 10% of that ship all
Wow.
night long.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
actually, you'll love this. So below deck, there was, and I don't know if you guys know how much you know history about it, but the USS North Carolina had one torpedo that hit, just one. They have that area blocked off. You can investigate that for a little bit extra of a charge. We weren't going to do all that, but my wife and I were actually stuck in a loop. We kept going.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
you know as well as I do. The one
Yes.
thing they teach you in a ship, if you get lost, head to the weather deck. Keep
Yep.
going up. You will find your way.
Yep.
I went up at least 6 different ladder wells live, mind you. We were live streaming, and for 45 minutes we kept heading up back in that torpedo area.
Oh shit.
We were stuck in a loop. We couldn't get out. I don't know what it was, but I went up a ladder, went down, went the way we were supposed to go, and I turned the corner. We're right back at the torpedo room.
Oh,
But I went up a deck.
that'd be crazy.
So
as
it's
hell.
like, okay, wait a minute.
Yeah, that'd be
But-
crazy, dude. That would.
But
be
yeah,
crazy.
like it's all a matter of location, environment, and what's going on at the time, and who's with you too. That's something else I think everybody forgets.
Yes.
Myself, and I'm sure you as well, very confident with it. Now, hear me out. Let me finish. Provocation. I'm very comfortable with it because I know that line of provocation to get to. Some people may not. And what I mean by provocation, folks, is challenging. Not pissing off. I mean challenging, because that is a form of provocation.
Okay.
What I'm saying is, like on the USS North Carolina, I had a cigarette. We'll pretend this is my cigarette. I set it down on the table and I said, knock that over. If you're really here, knock that over. I'm not asking. Am I provoking? Absolutely. But am I doing it in a nasty, derogative way? Absolutely not.
But then again, you can also do the same type. Okay, if you're, knock it over like and it's all in the way you talk.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Basically, it's like if you're screaming and yelling at them, that's not good. But how I would say it would be like, if you're here, dude, here's a cigarette. Do you need a match with it? Or like in Gettysburg, real quick. Hate to get off story a little bit, but the Sachs Cover Bridge over in Gettysburg, there is a ghost there. He is from Tennessee. And he likes to show off in the summertime because you're getting all those people on the bridge. And I noticed that we were doing an EVP one time, and you could hear in a southern voice saying, "Got a cigarette?" The match, and oh my God, he was like in heaven. He said, "I would never, I wouldn't leave no booze out there, but I'm sure he wouldn't take a shot of booze, but." Every time I went up there, I would always leave them a cigarette and one match.
That sounds like the unknown German soldier in El Campo Santo Cemetery in San Diego in Old Town. It was an unknown German soldier who would smoke with us all the time. Anthony's asking, did I lose track of time? Honestly, no. That was a weird thing. Like, we knew what was going on. We were very aware of everything. We knew. It wasn't like because again, we were live. Like we were on point with everything. It's just, and like Sean and I were just talking about, they teach you in the military, in the Navy, that if you're ever lost on a ship, like down in the bowels of the ship, go up. Always go up. Because when you reach the weather deck, the top deck, you can find your way as the easiest way. So, yeah, that's just the way it was. But we just kept going up and kept ending up back in the same area. I don't know. It was 45 minutes of that crap.
That's my
but yeah, Tanner said, it's a tool. Challenging, provoking, it's a tool. But the other thing is, remember who you're with.
Yes.
Like if I'm with Sean, Fedora, Anthony, Tanner, somebody with a lot of experience in this field, absolutely I'm going to challenge, because I know these guys can take it. I know they can handle it. I'll still ask, but I know if something were to happen, they know how to react. I'm not going to take somebody who's never been on an investigation and just start challenging and bring that energy, because something could happen.
Right.
You have to worry about your safety. But which leads me to the next topic. A lot of people, oh, absolutely, Hurst. Anytime. You let me know, brother. This leads me to the next topic. And I think, Sean, this is a really good one for you, brother. So the one thing I always get asked is, what about these people? I mean, let's be honest. This is an acquired taste, this profession or this career, whatever you want to call it, this hobby, going out in the dark, in the middle of nowhere or anywhere. People are very skittish. We have the experience. We're very confident in ourselves. We're very confident and comfortable in the darkness. What about these people who have that phobia of in the dark? I mean, I know we can investigate during the day, but even these people with, let's just say, they're trigger shy. They're very trigger shy to investigate because they don't know. I'm not saying they don't want to. They want to, but they're just really weirded out. Like, what is your suggestion for them?
Honestly, if you seriously want to go, I would tell them, then stick by me. Okay. Or stick next to somebody close. Don't go wandering off,
of course,
by yourself, because fear will get you. But I would also have to say, I would have to tell them, and I'm a very honest person. When it came to that, I'd be like, well, if you're afraid of the dark, I can't take you. And they'll say, why? I said, because first of all, we won't be able to concentrate on the investigation. We would actually, no, not bait, Tony.
I saw that.
I saw that too. You're funny. But that's funny.
Depends on the person.
But no, I would say, please, no. I will invite you to an investigation that we do during the daytime that could help you out. And trust me, I got a lot of bad press about, not taking people on investigations. But why should I put my group into harm's way, right? Over somebody that really seriously doesn't want to do it. But what's crazy is once you get somebody who does want to do it, dude, they maybe last 1 or 2 Saturdays and that's it. They're gone because they got bored. They would rather go to the bar and get drunk or something like that, Because I will tell you, everybody, you go investigate. I mean, you better be prepared to be bored. And that's the truth. You better be. I mean, you can go to a house, even you can go to a cemetery, sit there in the cemetery, and you thinking there's ghosts all around. I'm sure there are, but you know what? There's going to be times you're sitting in a freaking cemetery and nothing's going to contact you. No one's going to come up to you. So be prepared to sit in the cemetery for 3-4 hours without nothing.
Yeah, 100%. And I don't know how many times I've even told this to people, like, the best way to think about it, if you want to get an idea of what we do, go into your room, turn off all the lights, and just sit there and talk to yourself. Literally the best way to describe it. Because I had the honor and privilege to chat with Satori Haas, Cherie Marie, and a couple of other wonderful, wonderful females in this field when Brian Laverty and I did Women Investigate too, which FYI, folks, we are going to be working on a part 2 to that. But one thing Satori told me that really stuck out is we were talking about these shows like Ghost Hunters, TAPS. Mm-hmm. We see a half hour of footage, and maybe 15 minutes of that is before and after.
Yep.
So you're talking maybe 10, 15 minutes of actual footage and investigation. The problem is these guys are taking 15 to 20 minutes out of almost a week of footage. Think about that. We go to an investigation. We're there for 8 hours, 10 hours, overnight if we're lucky. These guys are there for a freaking week. That's why it looks so active, because they're taking the best of these clips throughout that week. Most of the time, you're just sitting there talking to yourself or entertaining yourself or talking with other investigators.
Yep.
And it's done. I mean, sometimes things pop off. And when it does, that's a lot of energy.
Here's the killer thing, though. I've heard that there are some TV shows where they actually didn't get a damn thing, and the producers made them go back and find something, and if they didn't find anything, then somehow make it up.
Yeah.
And it happens. It's the truth, dude. It's the truth.
See, yeah, and that's kind of where the fine line. I've had opportunities. I've had a contract in front of me, and they wanted me to kind of do the same. And I said, no. I said, you got, number one, if we're going to do this, we're going to do it my way. You guys came to us for a reason, my team and I. I was like, we're going to do it our way. You're not going to tell me how to run it. I said, I will stick to my morals and my values. I said, what we do is not worth any amount of money to me. And it's the same way with these shows, the podcast. Somebody wants to pay me for doing this, you're going to get what you see. I'm not changing anything. And sorry, not the way it works. But anyway, so we're going to take our commercial break and we're going to play 2 videos. And don't worry, we do have it. Seriously, guys, stick around because you're going to want to see it. We have the new fall commercial again for the Global Ghost Hunt, the brand new trailer. So don't go anywhere, but we'll be right back. We have the Up program, the new and updated one, and also the video for Fear Fest. And what a time to have it, because when we come back, Sean, we're going to be talking about locations. We'll talk about some locations. So guys, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Hey,
don't know what it,
awesome, dude.
I don't know what it is with that banjo, but it just gets me bouncing.
I'm telling you what, that was awesome. I don't. You know what is funny, real quick, before we get into it.
Yeah.
I go down to North Carolina to go do some gold prospecting, and I go through the Appalachian Mountains because I love going through them,
Oh yeah.
and and just hearing the music of the Appalachian people. It's like the Irish music. I mean,
Mhm.
the fiddle, the whole 9 yards. And I'm telling you,
There-
it just gives me chills because I don't know. Did you ever watch Barnwood Builders?
Oh yeah.
Okay, and when they
Oh
play
yeah.
that music, I just get into it, man.
Hey, there is nothing better in this guy's mind than a nice fiddle.
Yeah,
Nice fiddle with some banjo, maybe a little
easy.
steel drum or a washboard, just something. Just something. And I don't care whether you like country or bluegrass or what rap, whatever. You hear that beat
Hmm.
and you're just bouncing.
Oh yeah.
Everybody will get it. And I love it. I love it. But yeah, huge. Well, before we continue on, I do want to give my usual and huge shout outs. Obviously, the UP program. You guys saw the video for that. If you guys are interested in joining the UP program, that is taking the place again of the P3. All you got to do is just go to upprogramdirectors@gmail.com, send a request, and one of our directors will get in contact with you. Also, want to give a huge shout out to our brother Brian John Laverty over at Parapost, parapost.net, and of course, Parapost Network Central, which we are on, and also Parapost Network 2, Parapost 2 now for international. You guys will always find amazing podcast over there, and any one of them. So go check them out. And while you're on Facebook looking for them, look up Paralinks, our brothers over there. You saw Fear Fest. That's coming up. I am excited to see what comes of that. I know Howard and Chrissy are just happy to get it done because that's a huge pain, but it's all in good. They all enjoy it, and I know Brian's going to be down there as well, and a lot of other people. Beer Fest is going to be a great event, an absolutely great event, guys. So go check it out. Buy your tickets while you can. Supplies are limited, and show them some love and support, and show some support over to the Paralinks family as well. Again, amazing shows, amazing shows. And we're going to get to the Global Ghost Hunt here in a little bit towards the end of the show, so you guys can see the new trailer, like I stated before. But Sean, I don't know. Are you a big crystal and gem guy?
Um, you know,
That was a loaded question.
that was a loaded question. Um, and Anthony, I hope your wife still has that one skull with the raven on top of it because I do want that. But yes, I am. I'm not. I don't dwell my whole life upon crystals and junk and stuff like that. Do I believe that they could help with bringing more energy into an investigation? I'm on the fence with that because I had a couple girls that would bring them and nothing would happen. Okay, nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, literally nothing. And then there was an investigation or two where something did happen. I believe personally that you don't need crystals, you don't need um, rocks or whatever, and that's my opinion to do an investigation. But to have them on your persons, hell yeah. I mean,
Well,
I don't go all out, right? But I have a couple,
hey,
two or three. I have an obsidian skull, which I love dearly. I
I
mean,
got one right here in the studio.
it's a little small one, and I love it. I just love it. But
Well, I will
that
tell you
that
what.
is
Whether you believe like Sean or if you use crystal during investigation, I do. I keep them on me. I have a whole bunch. Go check out the Ravens Call. That is one of our sisters' stores. Valerie Wright. She has an amazing store. She's got her own show on Paralinks and Parapost as well. Uh, Always doing giveaways. Always doing something. Great prices for crystals and gems. So go check her out, guys. And the only other shout out I have is I know you guys see over here, the list is getting longer. RSS.com. Go check it out. You can find this show and many others, including I know Jay Hill's on there talking with the source and I think Hanaphobia, Through the Lens with Brian and Lex, they're on there. But you can catch this show on each one of these over here. I'm not going to go through the whole list, but you can see them. They're all right here. But you can find this show all over that as well. So go check that out, guys, at rss.com. So that's the shout outs. But anyway, we're gonna continue on. For those of you just joining us, I got my brother here, Sean Kelly. We had a fun conversation already. We talked about everything from food and paranormal. So
oh yeah, I love it. It's
still the usual. So next thing I want to talk about, brother, is locations. We talked about Pennhurst, North Carolina. We've talked about several amazing places. But one thing I think a lot of investigators do, new investigators, they run to the cemetery, they run to an abandoned building without doing their research, without doing their due diligence. So I want to ask you, if you're a new team starting out, what is your suggestion to them to going to these locations?
Okay, first of all, with the new teams that just formed, I highly recommend to go to cemeteries. Don't do abandoned buildings because you don't know if you're trespassing, and it's not a good scene. But what you do is you go to the cemetery, and please, and before you go into that cemetery, right, get permission. You seriously need to get permission to go into that cemetery. Do not hop the fence. And I'll tell you why. Because if you hop that fence, then you're going to make it really bad for other paranormal groups. Okay, seriously. But no, do research. There's a cemetery out here in Pittsburgh. It's called Resurrection Cemetery.
I saw that.
And there's another one out there in Monroeville, and the story behind that is Walking Rosie.
Yep.
You want to read up different types of things that go on into the cemetery. But when you go to it, say like I'm going to go to Resurrection Cemetery, and they told me to go look for this place. You don't want to do that, dudes. You don't want to do that, because what you need to do is just explore the whole cemetery. You know what I mean, Matt?
Yep. 100%.
Did I show you my pictures? I'm going to send you a picture. And
I had a couple. I believe this one's yours.
Yeah, that one's mine.
And
that's it right there. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen, dude and dudettes, if you look over on the left-hand side of that picture, you're going to see a person standing there. And I'm telling you, that's what happens when you go into a cemetery. Is that you get full body apparitions like that.
I want to also point out too, in both of these pictures, I knew I kept these around for a reason. But if you guys notice, it's not pitch black.
No.
It's not pitch black out. So that means there was still sunlight out. And Sean, you're absolutely right. Do your research, know the location. I highly suggest, if you are a team and you find a new location, whether you're seasoned or brand new, you find a new cemetery, or you go to one of these places like Sean's telling you about, walk through it first. No equipment, no nothing, just your phone, just in case something happens, and walk around. Get to know the location a little bit. Look for any tripping hazards. Look for those signs. During the day, mind you, look for the signs. Is it posted hours? See if there's a contact on there. See if there's no trespassing. Do your research on it first. Sinkholes. Sinkholes are big out here in PA. You wouldn't even notice it. You'd just be walking, all of a sudden, down you go. Look for these types of things. I mean, when I was in San Diego, I actually mapped it out. I actually drew a map of the location, and we would plan out our investigations that way. That's not a bad thing to do. Go to Google Maps, look at the surrounding area. Are there homes? Is there a highway? Is there a river? Find out your location, and not just inside. Because I'm telling you right now, folks, if you see a cemetery and there's houses nearby, if you want to investigate it, best to do it during the day. because 90% of the time you're out there at night with flashlights and you don't let the neighbors know what you all are up to, you're going to get the cops called on you.
Oh, absolutely. Always go to the cops. I mean, now here in Pittsburgh, we have the Catholic cemeteries, and they have like 10 or 12 cemeteries that they run,
Yeah.
but they're not gated. Okay.
Yeah.
So whenever you see a non-gated cemetery, you still need to get permission to go in there because somebody will call the cops on you.
Mm-hmm.
So what majority of what cemeteries do, you contact the guy, and in return they will contact the local police.
Yep.
And they'll say, "Hey, I'm going to have a group of people in here tonight. They're going to be investigating." So, that's what's going to be happening. On the cops still come up and they usually tell you straight out, like, "Hey, we know you're going to be here. We just want to check and see if everything was okay."
Yeah. And here's the thing: a lot of teams see the red and blues and they start running. Don't run. The best thing I would tell you, if you have a vehicle, a cop, whatever, set your equipment down, lay it out. Like if you're at a cemetery, lay it out. I put it on the road. I put it on, when I ask permission, but I put it on the headstones. I lay everything out so the cops can see it. Keep your hands out of your pockets, and you just stand there and carry business cards.
Do not have drugs or do not have alcohol, because
yeah. I mean that's common sense.
Oh, you know what? There's a lot of people that did do drugs that went out on investigations.
Oh, I know.
The groups got in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And I've been a recovering alcoholic for 32 years now.
Congrats.
And I can smell alcohol coming a mile away. And
Yep.
I smell it on your breath. You're not coming with us. It's just that simple.
Save the spirits for after the spirits. But no, absolutely. And I always carry business cards on me. Always. When I was out investigating, I always had business cards because if the cop showed up, it shows credibility. It shows you take it serious. You're not there for any malicious intent.
I don't know if they have anything up there in your area, Matt, but do you have cemeteries that are on the side of the road that are unkept and are very old?
There's a couple of hidden ones. There's a couple of hidden ones that are they're out in the middle of podunks. In other words, guys off the side of a mountain in the backwoods, no reception, no nothing. There's a couple, but I don't think there'd be any worth checking out. It's just the danger factor is too much.
Yes.
Because again, these cemeteries and all these locations, you have to make sure you're safe. Safety is paramount. You have to make sure you have good cell service in case something does happen. Have an escape plan, have an emergency plan, have a meetup spot, have something in place.
Right.
Because, I mean, you don't know what it could be. It could be a physical injury. It could be a wild animal. It could be just some pissed off idiot running through with a shotgun. And trust me, it happens. It could be anything. So, again, it's just knowing your location, coming up with a game plan. It's not just, okay, let's grab the flashlights and go check out the nearest cemetery. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Mm-hmm. But now the other thing a lot of people ask is, places like Pennhurst, the big name stuff they want to go to, which they should. Pennhurst is a great location. It's got a wealth of history, great stories. Eastern State Penitentiary is another one here in PA that's huge. That fabulous library that we all hung out at, that was,
Carnegie Library.
Oh, I want to go back for an investigation. Don't get me wrong. I absolutely love and appreciate that we got a chance to teach. I had fun with that, and obviously got to meet yourself and many other amazing people. But I wanted to investigate.
You know who to call. Call our boy, our Mr. Why do I forget his name?
I know who you're talking about.
Drake.
Craig. Yeah. Yep. But anyway, a lot of these teams start out, they want to go to these places for the experience. When do you think? When do you think would be a great time for them to start getting into that?
the best time to get into that would honestly be get a year under your belt, know what you're doing, okay? Know how to work the equipment. You are comfortable with the people who you are with. But I will tell you this, just like Eastern Penitentiary, all right, it's very expensive to go investigate.
Yep.
Very, very expensive. Last I heard, it was 2,500 a night, right? So in order to cut the cost, you have to get at least 100 people in there for $25 a head, or 50 people for $50 a head, and it's not fun whenever you are investigating with 50 or 100 more people, because it just ruins the investigation.
Contaminate the evidence.
There is one place I really refuse to go to, places where I have to pay, but there's one down in Trimway, Ohio, and I don't know if you've been down there yet, Matt, but it's called Prospect Place.
I've heard about it. I have yet to go.
Dude, I've been down there like 7 times and I love it. And I will pay to go to that, because that was one of the main places that we actually went to investigate back in 2007, 2008. Because it was just starting off, and they were just advertising and said, what the hell, we'll go down. And I'm telling you, it's very haunted. It's very good. What they wanted to do, what they started off is that mansion is like back in like 1902, 1903, but it got destroyed. So what I like about this place is the money they get from the paranormal teams for the investigations. They do not keep it, okay? They put it into the house in order to restore it to what it was back then. To where other places like Eastern Penn or the other big places that the ghost hunters went to, them people are making money off of you. Okay, yeah. That's all they're doing. And to me, I would rather pay knowing that they are putting money into the place that we are investigating to improve it.
Well, and that's why I absolutely love Pennhurst. They're very transparent. They said that the money that they got from our investigation that night was going to keep for upkeep for Pennhurst. Right. I don't know if you're aware, but there is a thing going on right now. I'll give the short version. But the county that Pennhurst is in, they're trying to tear it down.
Are they really?
Yep. And there are a lot of volunteers. There's a lot of people trying to help save this place. And honestly, that's another reason why Global Ghost Hunt I really love is we're trying to save these locations. We're trying to help them. And there's one I want to ask you about and see if you'd ever go here, and that's Hinsdale House.
I've been there.
Have you?
Yeah, we went last year.
Oh, what are your thoughts of that one? Because I know Todd Sylvia from Relatively Paranormal. Great guy. He makes amazing equipment, by the way. But he goes there. Him and his wife go there a lot.
If you want my personal opinion on Hinsdale, to me, it's just another house.
Another house?
Okay. Just another house. I don't want to ruin everybody. Please, if you can, go up there. I mean, it's a neat little house. But what was crazy about that place, okay, there is a lot of spirits there, and there is a lot of negativity there. But we were up there, and I'm telling you what, dude, it seemed like all, the negativity that is in around that house, that the house absorbs it. Okay? And hear me out now. Hear me out. Tell me if I'm wrong or not, but this is how I felt. And at one point in time, you could just feel the house turn from a happy-go-lucky house to like one of the meanest, nastiest, evil houses out there. You know what I mean? And the spirits that were there weren't that evil. And that's the same way down at the Bel Air house down in Ohio. If you ever get down there. I mean, we went down there for a weekend, and Friday night, Friday, we've been down there 5 or 6 times, but the one time that we went down there to the Bel Air house, Friday night, we usually stay 2 nights because you actually need 2 nights. And so Friday night, the house was a happy house. Okay, it really was a happy house. A lot of happy spirits, a lot of good evidence. Everything was so awesome, right? Now, Saturday afternoon, you could actually feel the house turn into pure evil. And I mean that.
Now, what do you think causes that? Is it geological, or is it, moon phases?
It wasn't moon phases. I do believe it's the geographical part because down there in Bel-Air, Ohio, that was like a Western town. A lot of brothels down there, a lot of guns, a lot of alcohol, a lot of shooting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And a lot of miners down there too. So that's probably what happened. But the other times that we went down there, it was okay for both nights. But that one specific night, that Saturday afternoon, that thing started to turn evil. It was crazy. It was crazy.
I've heard that from other locations as well. Like they'll say, "Oh, the spirits are great and everything," and then all of a sudden they'll just flip. It's like a switch. Right. So I'm almost curious if maybe it is a geological thing, because obviously you got your positive and your negative poles and stuff like that. I wonder if that affects anything.
I'm sure it does. Plus, in doing all the ones that I've done, I mean, evil, bad spirits, believe it or not, and I've experienced this, that bad spirits actually control the good spirits.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah,
I've seen that.
And so, I mean, I've been on a lot of investigations. We would be having a nice conversation with a spirit, all happy, good, getting all kinds of responses. And then all of a sudden I feel something really negative come in, and that we didn't get our responses like we used to. And then you could just feel, it's funny because you could just feel the room change.
Yeah. I've been there and I've seen, people talk about with with possessions, about the oppression of the human spirit. Mm-hmm. You can see it in a lot of possessions, demonics. But how many times, and I'm sure anybody who's experienced the paranormal, you've heard this come through over an SB7 or an EVP, that there are spirits that will oppress others. Yes. They will put them in their place. They will, hold them back from crossing over, from coming through. You see that a lot. And the whys, why does all that happen? Who knows? Right. I know there's a lot of people that say if you're an asshole in life, you're going to be an asshole in death. Well, maybe it's the other way around too. Maybe it's the other way around.
Yes, it's the truth, man.
But here's the other thing too. We've seen, people let's go way back in history. Let's go back to Constantine. Right. Constantine was a pagan until he was on his deathbed. And that's when he crossed over to Christianity.
Right.
So does that mean if he was a Christian killing asshole his entire life as a pagan, and then repented, became a Christian on his deathbed, moments before death, is he still going to be an asshole in the afterlife, or is he going to be what he ended with? To me, we don't know. We don't know 100%. All this is, by the way, folks, is all theory, because that's what our field is. It's a field of theories. So, but I personally believe that someone's true essence comes out. Their true spirit is their true essence. If somebody, let's say you and me, we're upbeat, laid back, chill, but let's say underneath, we just want to we have thoughts about killing people. And I'm not trying to be a smart ass. I'm just saying, you have these closet cases of people who put on that good face and go home and just hate everybody.
I'm
you
getting
know.
there.
So I work
It's my
in
old age.
I work with the public,
So do I. So do
but
I. But back to your
that's what I'm
question.
saying. Yeah.
Yes, but back to, and I just completely lost what I was going to say. So
Welcome to
continue.
my show. Hey, Banshee.
I just forgot what I was about to say. Too cold for Banshee. Hi,
I
Matt.
love
And Sean Kelly is a great Irish name. Hello. Thank you. It
I
is.
love Banshee. Banshee's everywhere.
That's cool.
Banshee's another one of those loyal followers. I love Banshee.
Which
I
is
need to
good.
get her up here.
But I seriously forgot what I was going to say. That sucks. That sucks.
That's the downside of not scripting these shows, folks. I don't script anything. I mean, Sean will attest to this, and anybody who's been on my show, we don't really talk about much backstage. We talk about random bullshit
Yeah.
until we hit the live, and then this is all off the hip. Well, while you're thinking about that, brother, let's go to something that we kind of touched on, but I think it's missed a lot in Paranormal 101, and that's networking.
Right.
Obviously, our field is full of drama queens. Let's be realistic.
Yeah.
Let's be
Yep.
realistic. So, my question to you then, in your experiences, how do you filter the bullshit? You know, what ways of networking would you tell people to starting out? Like, how would you protect them from the drama? How would you protect them? Like, what are some of the things to look for?
Oh, basically someone who has a major ego, or they have matching shirts, and that their shit don't stink, and they're the best thing, God's gift to go something. But but basically, I know most of the groups here in Pittsburgh, and surrounding areas, and I've had this happen to me. They ask me, "Well, what do you think of this group?" I'll tell them no, because the guy's an asshole. You know what I mean? I'm
Mm-hmm.
brutally honest, because I mean, and if they're really serious about starting, and I've done this since I retired. I've taken people out on an investigation, so they can get the feel for it. Do you know
Yeah.
what I mean? If they're
Yeah.
truly about it. But if you're out there to waste 3 hours of my time, I don't even want to hear it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to hear it,
Mm-hmm.
because I've been there before. Now, I might sound like I'm like really egotistical, but I'm not. I'm just being totally honest with you, because at one point in time, and when we started Pittsburgh Paranormal Society, the only thing that was on was taps, and
Yep.
there really wasn't a lot of paranormal groups out there.
Yep.
So basically, for my group, we had to learn on the go, on the flow. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Started out with an EVP K2 meter and a digital camera that only gave 4 megapixels. And it was funny too, because they came out with a camera with a 12 megapixel, and we were all freaking excited. Yeah, seriously, man. And the cell phones back then, they sucked.
Yep.
You couldn't take a picture to save yourself. But now, to be honest with you, if you have a good iPhone, if you got a good Apple um, phone, whatever, that takes very good pictures, um, I'm telling you, they work. So you really don't have to go out and buy that expensive camera
No.
unless you got money.
Yeah, and it's oddly funny that you say that, because I've said numerous times on my show, um, I started off with a VHS recording. Like I took my
The big cameras that you put on your shoulders.
I had a
Oh my
couple of those.
God.
I had you'll love this. So I don't know if you guys know about these home security cameras. They're called Swans or Night Owls. I had a set of Night Owls, a 4 camera, all wired, mind you, hooked up to a VHS TV
Yes,
that would
yes,
record.
yes.
That's what I started out with. That was my security. That was my night vision cameras. I had the old cassette recorders, not the little tiny, the cassettes. Take a
Yes.
pencil, if you know, you know. And I had a couple of those. I had a couple of the micro cassettes. I use Polaroids, disposable cameras. Do you know how fun it is to go and take your disposable camera and hand it into like Walmart or one of your drugstores to get it developed and just hope to God you catch something? And when you go to pick it up, you look at the guy's face who developed them and see if he's freaked out. Because if he's freaked out, you got something good.
Yes, exactly.
Like
exactly.
that's what I started out with. You don't have to go out and do all that shit. But anybody starting a team, you guys are so lucky right now.
Yes.
You have so many tools at your disposal. And I agree with Sean. Just like with the locations, just like with the spirits and the paranormal field itself, do your research on these people who you are networking with. There are a lot of egos in this field. There's a lot of drama.
Yep.
I would highly suggest find yourself a show like Sean's shows, mine. I know Anthony is still in the audience. Anthony's shows, the Wraith World podcast, Portal to the Paranormal, if Nando's still here. Liz does a couple things. Do your research on these people. Do your research. You don't need to comment in the chats. Just watch them. Listen to them. See the passion. See if they're legit. See whatever. See their evidence. And actually investigate. Investigate them. Find yourself a local team to work with. See if they'll even want to work with you. And if they don't, who the hell cares?
Egotistical. The hell with them, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And honestly, that's what it comes down to. And it's sad. It comes down to somebody doesn't like you. Don't care. Fuck them. Right. Let them be. Just let them do their thing. You do yours. And I know there's people out there that hate me. And you know what? To you guys who hate me, don't care. Keep going.
Dude.
I don't care
about hatred, man. Oh my God! Like back when we started, man, everybody belonged to the TAPS family members. Okay, that was the end thing. You go on their website, and put your paranormal team as TAPS family members, and you had to go by the rules. Okay, honestly. But see, at that time when they started, they did not believe in orbs. Okay. But I do. I learned about orbs.
I do.
All right. No,
I believe.
Debate here.
Yeah. See, this is now. Actually, you know what? This is going to be fun because with the networking and the drama, Sean knows I have the utmost respect to him. I love this man to death.
Same here.
What I'm about to say though is going to piss him off, and it's because we're brothers and we like it. Orbs to me are not 100% paranormal evidence. You cannot use them as evidence unless you catch something else with it. If you see,
or you have a personal experience with it happening, and I will tell you, yes.
For a personal experience, okay, but I'm talking for legit evidence. If you're at a client's house. If you imagine this, camera down a hallway. Okay, investigators are all behind the camera. You catch an orb coming out of a bedroom and just up a hallway. Nothing else with it. No footsteps, no voices, no nothing, no EVPs, no personal experience. That's dust to me. I'm sorry. That's going to be dust every freaking time.
Here, and now I will come back to you and say, if you think that is dust, who kicked up the dust when nobody's in there?
Fan, airflow. If they don't do their due diligence, if the team does, you guys, I agree, but I'm just saying, if it's just a random video, I will always say it is dust. Now, if you catch that same picture or you see them shooting across, okay, you see multiple, obviously there's thousands of them. That's not all spirits. Kiss my ass. I'm sorry. God, no, but if you see one that comes up a hallway, you get EVP of footsteps. Directly after, there's a personal experience. One of your investigators gets cold all of a sudden. You hear a knock. You see a door move. You see something else with that orb. 100%. I will call it every time. I will say that is legit paranormal. These ones that show me pictures and there's a smiley face in it, fuck you. It's not. That's dust. That's matrixing. That's matrixing. Sorry. Or the people that take a picture and they see, Jesus in their toast. No, kiss my ass. You know, they take a picture of a window and there's a face staring back at them. That's smudging. That's matrixing.
Yeah.
I am sorry. I will be the biggest freaking critic with that. I mean,
okay.
And I mean, Fedora caught one that was, to me, I can't explain it. I was there. I can't explain it. We were in a gymnasium. I know, a big area. No other dust or particles were around. You couldn't see them all night long. All night long. Nobody was in that gymnasium. You see us all leave. It was about a good 5 minutes later. One comes into frame, circles around, comes back, and shoots off. Could it have been a bug? Absolutely. Here's the problem, though. It was so cold out, all the bugs were dead. And here in Pennsylvania, and especially in northern Pennsylvania and Warren, it gets very cold. Those insects die.
Yeah.
So guess what? It can't be bugs. It can't be dust because there's no other freaking dust all over this freaking place. None was ever caught anywhere else. Okay, that to me is a paranormal. That's orb. That's an orb.
Okay. Now, I'm going to run this by you.
It's going to be a 3-hour show, folks, to get comfortable.
I have the video for it, but I don't know where it's at now. But we were in the Italian club, and when you walked up the steps, there was a bar, right? It was empty. It's where they held their different parties and stuff, but it was empty. And we had a camera, one of them cameras facing toward. So all of a sudden, and this is true, all of a sudden, no one's up there. No one. The camera moved to the right. Okay. And all of a sudden, you saw two orbs come down like this and cross.
Now, see, you had physical manipulation. So that to me would
How
be
can that be physical manipulation, dude?
Camera moved. No, I'm saying it's paranormal. I'm giving you that one. I will give that because you have physical manipulation of the camera. The camera moved, and then you caught it. You have something with it. You have something with it. If that's what I'm saying, like these people that see a couple pieces of dust fly through the air, or what the ones that really get me are the ones that you can definitely tell is a moth or a fly or whatever. You know, take a still frame and you can see the wings. I mean, you might as well hang a sign on their necks. Wait, do flies even have necks? I'm gonna look that up. I'm gonna get back with you guys. I don't know if flies have necks. I'm gonna look that up.
If fly have what?
Does a fly have a neck? Do flies have necks?
I don't think so, dude.
I'm gonna look that up. Well, that's gonna bother me now. But regardless, but no, if there's something else caught with it, absolutely. Absolutely. I would even say if you see a whole dust storm, but there's one that sticks out that's different, and again, you catch a footprint, a knock, a bang, something else with it, I'll give it to you. But to me, by the way, folks, again, this is all out of love.
Yeah, it is. Honest to God. It is. It really, really is. Now, and I'm not saying now, we've taken pictures. I've taken pictures in the rain, right?
Yeah.
Now, when the rain comes down, the tail of the droplets should be facing up, correct?
Should be.
Oh, should be. I mean,
depends on how windy, but yes.
That's Newton. You know what I mean? Whatever.
Yeah.
But I have caught in pictures to where the raindrops are actually going back up again with the tail.
But that is outside of the norm. Again, paranormal. That's what. See, that's the. It all comes back, folks, to debunking and going back to your basic definition of paranormal. What is paranormal? Anything that's outside of normality.
Right. But just think, we just gave a great example, me and you, by debating orbs, to the new people who want to start a group. I just realized that. This is what happens.
This is great networking.
Yes, and I'm telling you, there's going to be arguments, and you might not get lucky that night if your wife believes and you don't. But this is typical when you look at evidence.
Yes.
It's
I'm
typical.
sorry. I have said this before, and actually I said it to my brother Lurker. For those of you who know Lurker, Carlos. Right now, and I said this field is nothing but a theory. Everything in this field is theory. Yep. Why? Because we have no 100%, there's no 100% surefire way to capture paranormal evidence. There is not one piece of equipment that we have, not one, that will 100% guarantee positive evidence of the paranormal. We have multiple that we have to associate with. We have to validate everything with. We have to do our due diligence, debunk, and whatever's left is paranormal. But that still doesn't mean we know what happens. We don't know what happens.
Exactly.
And until somebody sits down and has a conversation in the same room with Casper or Aunt Sally or Uncle Jim Bob or whatever, and you see them manifest into a chair with witnesses all around, with police there, with psychiatrists there, with everybody around, and they pop up in a chair and they have a full-blown conversation, we are not going to capture. It'll always be a debate. There will always be a debate. Like, prime example, here we go. Prime example, I love this picture. I absolutely love this picture. But if I didn't know who you were, brother, that's somebody standing there. That's somebody on your team. 100%. Somebody will debate
like that back in the 80s, back in the...
We have reenactors in Gettysburg.
But what if I told you, okay, here we go. This is what happens when you do over...
now I'm just doing this because it's fun.
Right, yeah. But no, the deal was there was only 7 of us there, okay? The cemetery was locked. There was no way for people to get in there. And we were all behind Val, who caught that picture.
I believe you. I 100% believe you because I have the utmost respect for you. But if I didn't know you and you show this to the public, there is going to be somebody that says that is one of your crew.
Absolutely. I guarantee. No, you're totally right. And for you new people, you might catch something like that. You might catch a good EVP. You might, you know what I mean? Yeah. I am telling you right now, do not show it to the public, because what's going to happen is that they're going to ridicule you. They're going to make you feel so low, and you're going to be hurt because you're trying your damnedest to explain to them about this picture, but they just don't want to hear it. Well, and it's really it really defer you from investigating anymore. I've seen that happen, Matt.
I will amend this a little bit, brother. Honestly, I agree. A lot of the best evidence somebody's going to tear down. There's always going to be somebody. We already stated that. Me personally, especially like after recent events, here's the way I look at it. I'm going to put out what I'm proud of. And if, let's say I capture this photo, I know it's yours, but let's say I capture that photo. Mm-hmm. And I love it. I'm the only one there. I know I'm the only one there, and I get that. I'm putting that out there, and I know. But make sure when you're putting stuff out there on the internet and for the public, be open to that. Be prepared for it. Now, I will say this: get yourself networking. And again, it comes back to networking. Network yourself with people who are positive. The UP program. The UP program is a prime example of that. Sean and myself, prime example. Fedora, Brian John Laverty, everybody I associate with, Anthony, Banshee, all you guys here. That is a good, solid community. That is a community of positivity. Why? Because it's going to be constructive criticism. After the show, Sean and I are still going to be brothers. Actually, we'll probably be laughing about our old debate.
Absolutely.
We're going to have some, and I love this man. I rag on Fedora all the time. I love Fedora. He knows I love him. But that's what
I love Tony. I love Tony.
Yeah. I love Anthony. I have a lot of brothers and sisters, and I'm proud to call them brothers and sisters in this field. But know who you're putting it out there. When you put it on Facebook, YouTube, whatever, there's gonna be somebody that says something negative. And you know what? Here's the way you handle that. Delete the fucking comment. Yeah. Don't let them get that. People are allowed to have their own opinions, and that's fine. But know that there's a difference between, let's say for Sean's picture. Oh, well, that's probably one of your guys. Or can you show me that do you have other pictures showing that is not one of yours? That somebody else isn't there? Is there any way to prove that? That's a general question. Other than no, that's fucking somebody else. You see
Yeah.
the difference? Like
No,
no,
no. What I meant was that even though you did show them, because what? When you go to a place and you take a picture, 3, 4 in a row, right? Okay. And the first two, nothing. Then you hit one, and then you got something. Then the next two, you don't see nothing.
that's
Even
brilliant.
though
Timestamps.
you see the proof right there,
Yep, that's why you timestamp everything, folks.
and they will tell you to your face,
Yep.
that's not.
Yep.
That is not a picture.
But the bottom line is network with those positive people.
Yes.
Positive people. People who are uplifting, constructive criticism, and be ready. Be
Right.
ready because there's going to be people out there that just are all about the drama. And you know what? Like I said earlier, for those, if you're lurking on my shows for drama,
May happen.
right there, don't care. Your opinion doesn't matter to me, so go away. I don't care. And the block button, block people. People think they blocked me. Who the fuck cares?
Right.
Who cares? It's social media. Live your life. Do what you want to do. Have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Find the people who will support you for that. End of fucking story. So, Sean, I think an hour and a half, brother. That's cool.
Yeah.
Actually, this is what I love. I love you and I. We can. I said earlier we could go 3-4 hours easily.
Oh, no doubt.
But we're gonna wrap it up. I still have some stuff I have to do, and I have to be up by like 5 in the morning tomorrow. So I got to pull up Fedora. But I want to thank you, brother, for coming on.
Thank you.
And it's always a
me.
pleasure. Always a
Yes.
pleasure having you on, and you're always welcome. You know that you're always welcome. But if you want to hang out for a little bit, because I just got one more thing to say. We're going to air the new Global Ghost Hunt fall video.
I'm looking for that. I'm looking forward to that. Yes, I would love
Oh,
to hang out.
Oh, absolutely. But before we go, guys, I just want to let you guys know, too, Global Ghost Hunt now has a brand new merchandise store. You heard me right. So not only will you be able to get the merchandise on globalghosthunt.com, but we also have a brand new store, and I will bring that up for you guys. We just created it, shared it out today, and there it is. It is Global Ghost Hunt Store or globalghosthuntmerch.com. Go check it out. It is all done by Teespring. It has amazing quality, just like what you see right here on mine. My Happy Hauntings hoodie, got it on Teespring on paraconsultantstore.com. That link is in the description along with the Up Program merch. But we've got a variety of different things for you guys. This is brand new, just came out today. And if you go there now, you have 1 month. Put in GGH23, see it right up here, for 10% off of your order. You only have 30 days to do it. But there's going to be new merch added all the time. So go check it out, show some love. And again, all the proceeds and everything goes right back into the community. It goes right back into the paranormal. It goes right back into Global Ghost Hunt. Doesn't go in anyone's pocket. So support Global Ghost Hunt today, guys. Again, it's globalghosthuntmerch.com. Go check that out and head on over to globalghosthunt.com to sign up today. Sign up your team, sign up your location, sign up to volunteer, whatever you like to do. Sign up today, globalghosthunt.com. And if you have a team, just don't have a location, sign up anyway. We'll help you out. If you have a location but no team, I don't have to repeat it. Just do it. We have full cert. We will help everybody out. You're going to be doing thumbnails. We got a bunch of different things. We got new teams, new locations, some familiar faces. But I'm excited for this. And Global Ghost Hunt will be airing. October 19th. Somebody will be in New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be in New Orleans. You'll be able to see me and the Wicked Queen live for the Global Ghost Hunt. Sometime. I don't know. We don't know the dates yet, but it's somewhere in that time frame. You will see us live in New Orleans.
Nice. Just want to say nice meeting you too, Banshee. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. Banshee's awesome. I love Banshee. Uh-oh. Just popped on. Hey, Jen. This is Jen Jacobs. She, remember I said about the Men of the Paranormal Convention?
Yeah.
That's the main lady right there. Boss lady for that.
Cool.
But yeah, guys. So again, sign up today. Yeah. So, all right, guys. So that's it for me. And Sean, again, brother, thank you so much for watching, hanging out, having some fun. So, guys, we'll see you all next week. Not sure what day, so stay tuned for that and stay tuned for the topic because I don't fucking know. We'll figure it out. So, I guess there's only one thing left for me to say. Y'all have yourselves a great rest of your night. Have fun. Stay safe. But as always, guys,
don't forget the trailer, dude.
I'm getting there. I'm getting the trailer.
All right.
Happy awnings.